Got the old Gas Monkey t-shirt on today. So, well, so the Bobber event, the Brutal Beauty tour, as Triumph called it, I was at a pretty trendy place downtown called Terminal West, and lots going on. I mean, they had like oil painters, a magician, an open bar, girls with sliders. There was a couple of barbers giving trendy hipster haircuts. I mean, you name it, it was all happening, including burnouts in the car park and Red Bull DJs in the house and outside the house in a monster truck and on stage, dry ice, the works. It was a pretty happening affair, I must admit, and probably the best bike launch I've been to that I can recall. And they had a few new bikes there. The Street Triple RS, the 765. That's going to be quite incredible. The RS has got 121 horsepower and it's a very, very light bike, and maybe the kind of the ultimate naked street bike in terms of power to weight ratio, and it's got it all going on in terms of the spec on that bike. Big Brembo monoblocks and some tasty suspension on it, etc., and much improved TFT clocks, and the whole styling of the bike is sharp and looks really good. Also, they had the Street Cup there. That was pretty nice bike, and the Scrambler too. They look good, and of course the Thruxton and the Thruxton R, which has already been out. So good night for Triumph in terms of laying on bikes for people to sit on and enjoy. And of course the star of the show was the Bobber, and I think in England the first 450 were sold out before anybody even knew the price or had seen the bike in the flesh, and I think the second batch is going the same way, and I'm sure it's going to be a worldwide success here. I think they probably sold 6 or 7 on the night in Atlanta, and it was quite something. They had the two-tone green, British Racing green, I guess, and metallic silver with a gold pinstripe, which is actually done by hand at the factory. It's quite impressive to see that, and the whole look of the bike is right from every angle. I like everything about it. I like the way they've hidden the liquid cooling radiator. I like the way they've hidden the rear shock, and it's a kind of longer shock to give a much better ride than, say, a Harley Sportster 48, for instance. The seat is quite unique. It's got a aluminum underpan, and it's height adjustable. As you slide it backwards and forwards, it goes up and down in height as well on a kind of linear scale. Lots of nice detail touches. Rear brake reservoir is actually underneath one of the engine casings. You have to kind of screw off a cover to actually go and find it. The rear hub of the wheel looks like it takes a drum brake, for instance. The up and over bracket for the rear fender just looks so damn cool. The Triumph have really got this bike right. The clocks, which you can actually angle adjust those based on the height that you want the seat. They're a mixture of analog and digital, and they just kind of look right. They look period, but have all the modern functions. And talking of modern functions, this bike, the Bonneville Bobber, has got traction control, ABS, rider modes, all are standard, and as options you can have cruise control, heated grips with a very discreet little button that's at the side of the grip that just looks really cool. And everybody who sat on the bike, from kind of 5 foot tall to 6 foot 3 or 4, all kind of look right. Nobody looked too small, too big on it. Everybody was smiling, lots of thumbs up, and the bike just it's kind of bigger than the sum of its parts. It's going to arrive in America at 11.9, I believe, for the black. Probably a couple $100 more for the green and silver, and it'll also be available in Morello red, which looks a kind of metallic-y red, and also ironstone, which is a kind of kind of graphite gold matte finish, more kind of industrial looking. I paid a lot of attention to a lot of the surfaces on the bike. Some of it is kind of brushed, some of it's kind of chrome, some of it's painted, and it just looks cool. Whether it was kind of you know, whether that bike gets old and neglected and gets a kind of patina, natural patina and rusty look to it, it will still look cool. And whether it's kept immaculate and it'll look cool or customised, then Triumph are certainly throwing everything at it customisation wise. The catalogue has about 150 accessories, I believe, and also if you want to change up the look of the bike significantly, they offer things like blacked out mini 8 bars and you know, various seats in kind of brown leather and different designs and so forth. Exhaust systems from Vance and Hines, for instance, and you know, you can really kind of make it your own, I guess, a bit like Harley Davidson. You don't have to kind of follow the crowd, but just right out the crate, the way the bike looks is great, and more importantly, the way the test reviews are going, they've really got that bike right. The journalists all around the world, even the ones that are really obsessed with sports bikes, are just saying what fun that bike is to ride. Triumph has sensibly not followed fashion, and they've gone for a skinny rear tyre, and that just helps the thing handle like a whippet. And they're all saying the engine's ample. Might not read much on paper. It's about just shy of 80 horsepower and 80 pound per feet of torque. But they've tuned it for mid-range, and it's got plenty of get up and go. It's actually quite low revs at about 80 miles an hour, so it can hustle along all day, and you can ride it all day because that seat is apparently very comfortable, and the bike has 10,000 mile service intervals, so it's going to be quite affordable to buy, quite cheap to own. They're known to be very reliable. Resale value should be extremely high, particularly this year, because they're going to be just so difficult to get hold of. And I think more importantly, that bike is it's just going to be that elusive thing that many riders are looking for, something that is more engaging and fun and characterful than the kind of Me Too type stuff that's available from your local dealer. Anyway, I love the bike, and maybe a future purchase, who knows, we'll have to see. Make a fantastic second bike for anybody, but even as a first bike, you can fit panniers and you know, various bits and bobs to make it more convenient and comfortable, like heated grips and so forth. And really, if the bike has any weakness, it'll be that it'll probably run on reserve after about 110 miles or so. Still much better than, say, a Harley 48 or something like that, but you're not going to be doing massive miles without refilling the tank. And also the front brake is just a single brake, so it's just a single disc, and probably not the most powerful, and particularly if you're used to a sports bike and you're not used to you're more used to braking 80-90% with the front brake instead of more of a kind of 50-50 like most heavy cruisers. You'll need to adapt your style a little bit, or you know, ultimately just update the front brake in terms of a quick fix with a braided hose and maybe a change of pad, and then basically it's sorted. Doesn't really have any faults for me. I'd put maybe a side mounting number plate on it to make it look cool, clean up that back end. Everything else is just personal taste. It's just gravy. Anyway, nice one, Triumph. Good job.